ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Coco McMillan Show. You may have seen her in Morocco, New York City, Los Angeles, California, Detroit, Philadelphia, Chicago, Las Vegas, Nevada. One of the background singers for Mickey Howard and the late, great Gerald Levert. Ladies and gentlemen, your host, the beautiful, the wonderful, the spectacular, Miss Coco McMillan.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to the Coco McMillan Show, where we make it happen. I am so excited to be with you tonight. This is the Coco McMillan Show, where we bring some amazing flavor to the virtual talk show circuit, featuring our national and our local recording artists, musicians. Also, this platform is designed for business owners, mental health awareness, social media gurus. We have designed this platform just for you. It allows the guests the opportunity to come on and talk about their career goals, their challenges, their product, new opportunities, as well as awareness. We've designed it for you. So we want you to come and bring your story to the show. If you want to be a part of the Coco McMillan Show, please contact me at cocomcmillanmusic@gmail.com or any of the social media platforms. I am here for you. We want to make this happen. We want you to bring your experience and your knowledge to the show, because we believe in sharing your journey, sharing your story. I say this every week. Millions of souls can be blessed just by your testimony. So you never know who you can touch by coming on the show, just talking about what you're doing in your life and some of your challenges, because it can help our sisters and brothers. Amen. So listen, make sure you contact me to be a part of this show. We are streaming live here on the IBM network, on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. If you are in the presence of your home and you have a Roku television, please go to Roku and download a Pod TV Live. It's free, okay, by the way. So download Pod TV Live, and you can see it there in the presence of your home. All you have to do is go and add a channel, and it'll say Pod TV Live. Click on, and you can see it there in the presence of your home. So we are so excited what God is doing for the show. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. Listen, let me know that you are here. Put it in the chat where you watching from, so we can give you a shout out. I hope that you are ready for the show tonight, because we have some amazing guests on the show with me, and I'm so excited that they took this time out to join us tonight. So I am going to give you just enough time to go ahead and text someone, to let them know, to call them, do whatever you have to do. IG, let them know that you are about to spend the next hour with your girl, Coco McMillan, and it's going to be lit. All right. That's what one of my students taught me. One of my new millenniums, my Gen Z, he taught me that it's going to be lit tonight, because we have some artists here tonight that's doing something different in the industry. And I know, listen, when I heard it, I loved it. So I know that you're going to fall in love with it too. So go ahead and let them know to come on and be on the show with us tonight. Make sure you share and, like, comment, share this broadcast. If you want to be a sponsor or donate to the broadcast, please let us know. You can cash app us at the CMS. That's C is in Coco, M is in McMillan, S is in show, the Coco McMillan Show. Just any amount. It doesn't matter. Any amount would help. We are doing some exciting things here for the show. Bring a guest on the show. I hope you tuned in last week when we had Dr. Bobby Jones on the show. He was absolutely amazing, gave us some wonderful information for all the industry people out there. So if you didn't catch us last week, make sure you go back to my page and you can check out his interview. All right. Listen, we're going to go ahead and get started, because, we have some exciting news for you tonight. We want to share some music. We have some nuggets on here. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So go ahead and still put in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from, all that good stuff. Hi, Calvin. How you doing? Thank you so much for joining. But right now, I hope you are ready. I want to introduce two wonderful artists tonight. Like I said before, when I heard the music, I was absolutely floored. It's amazing when you hear, and you get a chance to hear it tonight. So we have Mr. Desan Anu. He's from North Carolina based, cultural organizer. He's an artist. He's a scholar. He's works in creative arts, academic forces. When I tell you he's smart, and he can sing, and he can write, all right? 2003, he was named the 15th Piedmont Laureate one-year program that changes genres annually. Desan is the second poet to hold this post, okay? Among the great honors throughout his career, he's also an alumni of the Nasir Jones Fellowship with the Hip Hop Archive at Harvard University. And some of the other accomplishments he's done some amazing things. He's also been a part of the Hayti Center. He's an accomplished cultural leader. He appeared on the NPR News and Notes with Ed Gordon and The State of Things. He was also featured on the third season of TV's One versus Flow in a documentary. Poet Sons presents as the North Carolina Visions film series. Wow, he's a resident artist with the St. Joseph Historic Foundation, the Hayti Heritage Center, co-founder and director of Black Poetry Theater. When I tell you he is sharp, he is absolutely sharp. He's previously served as a founding member and coach of the Bull City Slam team, and has performed and completed extremely across the county alongside the team independently. He has a song, or I say a poetry that's out right now that we're going to have a chance to listen to, that's called Glory. Featured on this song is Alberta Dominique Jones with some amazing vocals. He's a versatile musician with a deep love for melody. He's found at an early age, Alberta was drawn to enhance world music, finding solace in expressions and harmonies. When I tell you, his harmony, he kind of reminds me of that young version of Marvin Gaye. You're going to hear that on the song as well. And he's also a rapper. He does some amazing rhymes. I'm telling you, I've been knowing him since he was a little boy because, of course, I know his father, Averture Jones Jr., and he's on the show tonight as well. So we're going to make sure that we're going to hear from him. We're going to do some radio talk. So it's going to be interesting. So you need to get your pen and your paper and all that good stuff because we have some interesting information for you tonight. But before I bring on Desan and our virtual, I want you to check out the new music called Glory. Check this out. I know Mark is putting that together. So, Mark, if you do not have it, let's go ahead and bring on Dasan. And there we go. There we go. How you doing? We're gonna get the music played. We're gonna get the music played. So I definitely want them to hear that song. But how are you?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful, and I'm glad to be here talking with you today. Thank you for having
Well,
me.
thank you. So listen, I was reading just a little nuggets of your bio, but I want you to tell me more about you. You grew up here in North Carolina?
Yeah, I did. I'm a good old Southern boy from North Carolina. Um, my mom's side of the family is out from the Wake Forest Roseville area.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, and then my other side of the family, I got family down east, Burgaw, Clinton, out Wallace, out that way. And so I grew up in Raleigh, and I spent a little time in Hot Springs and Fuquay. But I'm a Raleigh kid, and then I've been in Durham since 2004. So, you know, stayed home, stayed committed to doing what I can do right here in North Carolina.
Wow. So growing up here, were you always into music? Did you always know that you wanted to do poetry and put it on in music?
No, it was really an outlet. It got introduced to me in second grade, and it was just a way. I grew up with grew up with my mom, and as an only child, um, and I'm my dad's oldest, and so it was just a way for me to process thoughts and emotions. And I was always encouraged to stay active and stay
Yes.
creative, both in school and some of the programs my mom kept me in. Just a single mom trying to just make sure her son stay connected.
Right.
But it was an opportunity during a time where I really kind of didn't know what I was doing myself. As a young man, had some went off to college, things weren't working out the way I wanted to, and I found this art as an outlet and some places to kind of share what I was going through. And then God just started opening doors and creating opportunities, and ultimately it was like, this is probably where what you should be kind of focusing on. And I started just kind of seeking out how to kind of deepen my craft and what was actually available to me out there. And just I was lucky enough to find some amazing folks who kind of gave me a broad sense of what I could do.
Right. And I was going to ask that you said that because, being that it's different, was it hard? Was it challenging trying to find people to help you push this vision that you had?
It was, the one thing, North Carolina has a long-standing, rich tradition of music across genres, whether it's gospel, jazz, but there's not really a market for independent artists in
Yes.
North Carolina, at least when I was coming up. So many other folks moved. So it
Yes.
was difficult to kind of stay home and still find experiences and find folks that I could look to and see what they were doing. And it took a lot to kind of carve out my own way to kind of sustain myself, while also, just looking for opportunities to get out and see what could happen. Because there's so many amazing artists. There were elder artists who was, invited me out and gave me some opportunities. I guess they, just looking out for the young kid, like,
Yeah.
yeah. But it really put me in front of different audiences and just kind of helped me get my chops up in terms of being able to work on stage,
Yeah.
and being able to learn what it means to work with musicians of different backgrounds and different genres.
Right. So let me ask you this. Your first performance,
Mhm.
were you nervous? I mean, were you like, okay, what are they gonna think or how are they gonna receive it?
So nervous. One of the things is that's how we got to Desana Hanu. Desana Hanu as a pseudonym was a way of kind of giving my own self confidence. Desan means ruler, and it
Okay.
was just a way of me being able to get over that stage fright. I like if I
Yeah.
can start by identifying myself as a ruler, then I can kind of just start to claim my space. But I was so very nervous, and it took a
Yeah.
while to get to a place because people are going to clap for you regardless, just out of
Yes.
right. So you don't really know, but you
Right.
know,
But
but
you know,
yeah.
right.
So it took a minute, but it was a really good journey to the point where folks who knew me, because I grew up really introverted and really shy, and so nobody who knew me growing up would ever expect that this is what I would be doing. And they were like, you're a different person on stage, and I'm like, I'm not a different person. I've just gotten to a place where I feel comfortable letting more of me through.
Right. So what were some of the places that you perform? Do you also do it in the church as well?
Yep, churches, museums, festivals. I I see this art as purpose driven in terms of telling stories and helping to center the lives that we live in order to help people understand the decisions that they make. So I go where I'm called.
Yes.
I follow the calling, um, and so wherever I've had an opportunity, young folks, I've done working on the schools, middle school, high school. Of course, I done a lot of work with colleges, but I try to look for opportunities to connect with people. That's really what this is about for me. It's an opportunity to be able to connect with people.
That's amazing. Now, how are you affiliated? I know you worked at the Hayti Heritage Center. Can you talk about a little some of the things that you do with them?
Yeah, so I came there in 2004 to help them with an event called the Hip Hop and Spoken Word Festival, and just fell in love with the place. It's the St. Joseph's old St. Joseph's AME Church, which is
Yeah.
one of the
Yes.
long-standing first Black churches in North Carolina, and in like a central key to the historic Hayti neighborhood, which is like another Black Wall Street. And they took once St. Joe's moved, they took the old sanctuary and turned it into a African American cultural center. So I fell in love with the history and just being in that building and being in that
Yes.
sanctuary on that stage. It just felt like the right place. And so I said I want to do more work here, and they welcomed me in. And I have been doing poetry programming and throwing events there ever since. And so, next year it'll be 20 years of working with them, both in that space and
Wow.
in the community. Yep.
That's amazing. So you have a lot of, I'm sure, kids and everyone that look up to you. And so how does that make you feel? Like
It, it,
what's running through your mind when they're saying that to you?
it feels good, but it's also humbling. I had an experience where, some of my mentees and some of the folks that I work with had started to work with some young folks, and I'll never forget when they were like, well, if he's working with us, then you must be our grand mentor. And I said, hold on, I ain't that old. We ain't gonna start talking about
Okay, that's way that.
this dude. No, not grand. So, but it's a beautiful thing to be able to hold space for young folks to kind of find their voice and see them grow up and like how that changes them. And
Yeah.
then to be able to have them come back and talk about, what that meant to them. And
Yeah.
many of them are artists, but all of them are doing great things. And just to watch them and know that, we got to see and pour into them and sow that seed that kind of helped them get to where they are, is a beautiful thing.
Don't you love that? Don't you love that? Just pouring into being that trailblazer.
Mhm.
In 10 years from now, just watching them grow. And you're just like, you know what? I was a part of that. You feel like you, thank you, Lord. I mean, it's an honor to have that. And as we were talking earlier backstage about the platform, this platform, helping people, because back in the day, we didn't have, a lot of the open opportunities and the social media and all this stuff like this. All I had, coming up in music was the talk of the town. Remember the talk of the town?
Yep.
The talk of the town. So it's good when you can pour into the young folks. I want to ask you something. So your writing, because again, not only the song Glory, I listened to some of the other spoken word. How do you come up with, what is your process of coming up with your words, your lyrics? And, is it about some of the things that you experienced and been through? Because it's deep.
Mm-hmm.
It's deep. So let's talk about that.
Well, first off, I'm a watcher, and I grew up. My mom is the oldest of five, and she had me at 16. So we both were getting raised at the same time. But what that did was, I'm in the house, and I'm watching. I'm just seeing life happen for my mom, her sisters, my dad, my grandmothers, and so I was always curious, and I just got good at watching, because when you're young, you're supposed to be quiet, stay kind of out the way.
Right.
So you get kind of trained to watch and listen, and so those skills stayed with me. And so generally, if it's not my own personal experience,
Yeah.
it comes from sitting with and watching and seeing how things are playing out and how they're happening. And my job is to just try to make sense of it in a way that it can help other people understand what's really happening. And so, I kind of start with just the raw emotion, observation, and then I sit with it and I tease it into place. Because the first thing that I teach my students is to just let the muse and you and the moment and the spirit, let it work, because that's for you.
Right.
Get that through, and then the writer takes over, and then you let the skills and what you've been given, you decide how that piece is going to work for folks and what you want to do with it, and you shape it into that. So that's always the process for me. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of thought process, a lot of commitment. We got a lot of people watching tonight. Cass, Jean Johnson, Beverly, Miriam, thank you guys so much for joining us. But yeah, that's a lot, the thought process, and putting it down on a paper and then remembering it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a time where you forgot, or you just kind of went off the top of your head?
I have learned to, we say keep pushing, and so you learn to fill in the gaps until you can gather yourself. Yes. But for me, that also came from memorization was extremely difficult for me early on. I'm a hyperactive kid. I always say I got tested instead of medicated, and so so they moved me to advanced classes as opposed to giving me Ritalin. But but once I learned to kind of slow my mind down and kind of get it, then the next thing was, no one knows what's happening but you. So you keep pushing through, and you learn a little bit of that improvisation, and you can, kind of give yourself over to the delivery and to the performance of the moment. I always think about all of the orators and performers that kind of captured me, from singers to pastors to great speakers. And you sometimes you got to ride the moment until you can really gather yourself and get back to what the words are supposed to be. And that's always been my saving grace. Because
I know, because listen, trying to remember, and still today, I remember one time I forgot my own song. I couldn't. We were taping at that. I was like, wait, cut. It was like, this is like live, right? So I know how it could be, but thank God for his grace, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you've been doing, as I said earlier, you had other songs out there. Hey, Ruth, thank you so much for joining. you have other spoken word, but let's talk about this song "Glory"
Mhm.
because we have a Virtua that's here with us, Dominique, that did the vocals. So let's talk about "Glory." Tell us a little bit about this song.
Yeah, so this was a season of lifting up my grandmothers, who are, who've both gone on. But it was in thinking about how I got here and what I know about faith and perseverance. I always say that, I know miracles are possible because I saw two Black women who I seen make them. I've seen them perform, and they were the ones who took me to church. Like I said, me and my mother and father. My father, they were teenagers when they had me, so we got raised together, and so that's what this song is.
Wow.
It is me talking about how they are my barometer for how where my resolve, where my courage, where my faith and resilience comes from. And so it was, I had done I had just done a project that was centered around that was speaking specifically a book of poetry that was speaking specifically to faith.
Right.
That was through the lens of my grandmother. So when I started to work on this album, I said, we got to tell that story because I know I'm not the only one who, had those matriarchs who kind of taught us how to
Yes.
maneuver. And when I think about having a public profession where I'm responsible for talking to and talking for people,
Yeah.
for me, being able, I know when I show up that who's showing up with me and through me is those two women. That's Doris
Yeah.
Ford and Bethola Massenberg. So
Wow.
that's what this was about.
Wow. I love that you said that. And listen, so the vocals on this song, how did you so when you was putting everything together, did you think about a virtual Dominique? I mean, what was going through your mind? Let's talk about those vocals before we bring him on, because we want to go
Oh,
ahead and bring him on as well.
oh, I knew, and I told him. I said, I'm working on this project, and you got to be on it. I didn't know what yet, but when I got the music for it, and I knew, and it spoke, and I knew immediately what I wanted to do. I said, I know. I started to think about, because for me, a lot of my work, I have what I see it through before I really
Yeah.
type it. And I pictured the moment, and I'm like thinking choir robes, like who's got the solo, and that's as I said I know exactly who, and I called him. I said I got it, and I said, and he was like, all right, because I told him, I said I'm gonna have it soon. I don't know yet, but just know. And I said I got it. I said I know exactly what it is, and I sent it to him, and we worked from there. He said okay, and then we
Yeah.
set up time to get him in the studio to get his vocals recorded.
Oh my goodness. It sounds so good. Listen, guys, let's go ahead and bring on the one and only Mr. Look at him, Bertrand Dominique Jones. Look at that smile. Oh my goodness. That's that's Lydian Jones' grandson right there, okay?
Right.
Francis, how you doing? Welcome to the show, baby.
I'm doing good. First and foremost, thank you, Lord Jesus, for another day. Thank you for bringing me on. Want to say thank you, Miss Coco McMillan, for having this show. To begin with, shout out to the ALJ agency, you know,
Yes.
for having us on here. Shout out to the sign, because without my big brother, this probably wouldn't be happening right now. So I'm
Wow.
excited to be here, man. Excited to talk more about the song, talk more about just life in general, and let's do it.
Yes. Yes. So tell us, what do you think about the song? When you got that phone call, I know he said he was working on something, but when you got the phone call, how did you feel? What was going through your mind?
Yeah, we I think it was at Missy Lane. The sign we were doing. I think I was at an open mic at Missy Lane, which is a very renowned place downtown. Which the sign hosts a lot of events there, and
Okay.
you know my family is from the jazz and gospel industry, like the sign mentioned, like 50s, grandmother, grandfather, pastors, jazz artists. My grandfather was, and so I just
Yes.
so ended up finding myself in a jazz space, and like I mean, I'm up on stage doing it. I think I was doing a song that I plan on releasing next year, and all I remember seeing is candle lights, wine glasses. It was a cool environment, but I still had to just get to where I needed to be and
Right.
allow the spirit to take over. And I think uh, you know, right after that, we talked things through, and like he said, we just made that happen. Met in the studio, and to be honest, I was kind of like, dang, is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? But then, he kind of reassured me that, yo, when you get in there, just flow freely. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. You know what to do, so go ahead. And that was pretty good. It was a blessing because
Yes.
sometimes you can get in the studio and be told what to do. Somebody gonna tell
Right.
you saying something, but
Right.
it's at some points in the session, I was like, is that what you want? He was like, look, whatever you want to do, go ahead and do it. So it made me comfortable. Made me comfortable to go ahead and collaborate with somebody special and get things done.
Yes. I mean, and the vocals, the
Mhm.
vocals are, I mean, they are W, all right? I mean, did anyone ever tell you you sound like Marvin Gaye?
My father.
Oh, well.
I mean, he. I mean, I grew up listening to a lot of old music. And he was a big fan of Earth, Wind, and Fire,
Yeah.
Marvin Gaye. It's a whole bunch of different people. Aretha Franklin. I mean, I just grew up listening to these people, so he would tell me that I sound like these people certain times. I never tried to sound like them. I just
Well, you do. I mean, you do, but with your own flair to it. You know what I'm saying? And then and you rap. I mean, let's talk about all because you're very musically inclined. So let's talk about some of the things that you do musically. Because I know you said you're coming out with something next year as well.
yeah. So I do have some stuff I'm planning to come out with. I'm excited about that because as I am, working with the agency, we're planning to like move some things forward this
Yeah,
upcoming year. I'm excited because I started at a very early age and I've never
you
stopped.
did.
Yeah, I just haven't stopped. It's just starting so early. I just realized that anything is possible.
Yeah,
Seeing the things in front of me, man, like my grandmother touring, me being a part of that stuff, like going with her to revivals and her paying me. I was a young kid. She over here giving me stacks of money. I'm sitting here like, I'm about to do this, Joe. I'm about to go ahead and do it. But I mean, since we were younger, that's just how we. I mean, that's all I know. All I know is music. All I know is music.
yes,
And no matter where I go in my life, I mean, I just be singing randomly, and
yeah,
sometimes people be like, "Yo, you need to do this." I'm like, "Well, it's coming." I've always
right.
been doing background vocals. At the same time, I've written a lot of songs. I've done a lot of things. 2019 was my first album. Got a lot of respect and a lot of love from that.
Yeah.
From there, I'm just like, well, let me focus full time on music. Let me just a lot of other opportunities come my way, but I'm like, well, those are blessings too. But right now, it's boom, it's straightforward. Now I'm not looking at nothing else.
That's amazing. And really it's a blessing. It's a blessing, Dominique, because as you said, your grandmother touring with her. And I don't know if you remember me, but I remember you growing up because my grandmother and your grandmother were good friends and they would, we would go to different churches and you have a singing family. I mean, your whole family sing, and I remember that your grandfather is so much music, and so you really didn't have a choice.
I don't have.
But
I mean, the thing is, I'm not forced. I wasn't forced to sing. It's just in my DNA, man. It's really in my DNA.
it's in your DNA, right? Right. Shout out to your sister. Your sister is on. Ruth is on
Yeah.
as well. And so I'm just excited about the song. I think we're about ready to play the song, but where do you guys see yourself going with this music, with the song?
Design, you go first.
Um, well, I hope as far as we can. I think the just it's what's really powerful for me is that how personally everyone has resonated with the music. That and so that response is what's encouraging. And I'm like, let's ride this and touch as many people as we can, because it's one thing for folks to say they liked it, but it's another for folks to be like, yo, like really like I love this song. Like to know that we are really touching hearts and souls with this.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that we were going to be able to have that effect. I just felt like we had something, but now I'm starting to see, oh, okay, that's what that is. This is something that people are really looking for, especially in this time. So
Especially in this time, and it can relate. It can minister to older folks and young, the generation, the gap there. It can really minister to everyone, and the backing that you have behind it. The one and only himself, Mr. Everett Jones Jr. Gonna push it. Okay, so I'm just telling you in advance, just get ready for the journey, because it's really going to be successful. Mark, are we ready to play the song? I know people are out there waiting.
I'm gonna say this while we're waiting for
Yeah.
to answer that question. I think it's really dope because there is a sense of like general, like very a broad way of thinking. I feel like for so long, not just the gospel industry, but all industries have been so closed-minded to the things that they want for their particular genre,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even when the sign came to me at Missy Lane, I think that was like probably for me one of the turning points, because again, you don't really, from my perspective, from my experiences, you don't really see like a cross, like a mixed
Right.
that
Right.
gospel, R&B, hip hop, country,
Yep.
Latino, like it's everybody's so separate. I mean, even take it a little bit further. I was on the diversity, equity, and inclusion meeting last night with the Durham Art Council, and we were talking about how much even internal, like I'm not trying to get too deep, but it's just the truth. Even internally, we deal with so much trauma that
Yes.
we are unavailable to open our minds to different things.
Yeah.
We just because we so closed in, like it comes from everywhere. Grandmother, grandparents, great grandparents. It's thankfully, my grandmother and my grandmother put in me. I was telling my wife and kids this earlier. I was like, Grandma, recently I told her this, I asked her this. I said, what did you do? Do you remember what you did when you went touring? Because we went touring when we were younger, even outside my grandmother. My father put us on touring at a very early age. We was touring, singing, rapping, by ourselves. I asked her, I said, what do you remember about touring? Did somebody, did people, organizations give you funds? Like did you set up hotels already? Give me some information. But
Right.
every time this is her right here. She would not get, for real, she won't give me steps more than she would give me the wisdom to do it. She's
Yeah.
like, well, I'm not gonna give you exactly what to do, but if you take the teachings that I gave you and you go wherever you want to go, then it's gonna come
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that right there told me, like it always has been, even when I was a kid, just going into her office and talking to her, to be open, like don't be closed, be respectful of the gospel. Now don't be out here thinking that you God, because you ain't God. God has a really quick way of checking us. Let's not get it twisted. But there's also some respect, I believe, that heaven kind of gives us in order for us to truly walk in the image of God. We have to be
Yeah.
excited about that, be open to that. And I think when that happens, like miraculous things, they
Yeah.
take place. And one thing I expect from this album is for it to reach people that we don't even know. Like when I came out with the album, my first album in 2019, I thought the United States would be the main support for the album. And after running the analytics, it was Brazil was my number one listener.
Yep.
United Kingdom, London, Argentina, and Mexico.
That's
United States was like number 10, number 12.
See?
And in my head, I was like, well, I'm gonna get all the support from right here. Because I was limited. I was limited, man. But instead of doing that, I encourage us all to think bigger. You made a good point. Like, where do y'all see this going? And Design had a really good response as far as it goes, because we don't know.
Right.
We don't know where it's gonna go. But we can have the faith enough to understand what we have, and as we continue to influence people, as we continue to be in front of these people, who knows, man? Who knows? What I'll say this last thing, and then I know we gotta move on.
The limit.
But I'll never forget when I was like maybe 17, like 16, 17. We were my gospel, not mine, our hip hop group, our gospel group. We were on tour, and I forgot where it was. We made a stop somewhere, and this is the first time we ever experienced something like this. Mm-hmm. We performed 2 or 3 songs, and after we performed, there were young people actually being saved. There were young people actually talking in tongues. Like,
there we go.
We ain't even, I promise you, like we went to a lot of places and we sang and we rap. Isaac Curry wanted us to come out there to where he wanted to be. There's different places that we just got excited because we went on different shows and stuff like that. We're just excited to be out here. But then when that happened, that really changed my life. I took it to a whole nother level in my mind, because I'm like, well, dang, it's just not excitement, but I can really, through grace and through love and through peace, self-control, I can really do some stuff if I am respectful enough, just putting myself in a place where I can just allow the Lord to flow through me. That was probably we've been through a lot of places. That was probably one of the most monumental times in my life, to actually see young people crying and lifting their hands up and thanking God, and they coming up to us telling how much that they love Christ, and thanking us for introducing them to Christ. And people that have been coming into our church with guns in their back pocket. and then after they have the guns in their back, because if you hood, you gonna keep the strap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's been some people. It's been some people that come into our church with the strap behind their back, and then they lifting their hands after they get done.
Yeah.
These things that you can't explain, man. Rest their souls, because some of them passed away from the same thing, from being in the streets. But even before that, just to even see them in the church with their kids before the Lord took them home, praising and being saved. You can't explain these things, man. You can't
making a difference. That's it, and that's what we want. That's what we want, and that's what I really feel that this song, the spoken word and the lyrics, is going to do. And I am excited. You talked about, it's just the lead way to bring on your dad to talk about what he's going to do in the radio with this song. But I am excited to know that this is the first interview, for you guys. So I am just excited. Yes. I am excited about that. This is step one, and I just know God is getting ready to open up the doors. I can feel it. And we have a Virtual Jones Jr. that's on here that's going to take this to the next level. We're going to talk about radio. Alberto, first I want to say hello to you, my brother.
How are you?
I am well. They've got me so excited. I want to jump out this chair and run around the house.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Because did you hear that? Did you hear that?
I could still be sitting here and listening to these brothers talk. My son, that's my baby, this son now, I don't know how old he is. I'm probably old to be his daddy too, probably. I don't know. But listen to these guys talk, and it have just done my spirit good. This is what I teach in this radio stuff. I've been doing this over 40 plus years.
Wow.
3 Broadcast Hall of Fames. I was inducted in 2008 in Broadcast Hall of Fame, Akron, Ohio. So many awards, so many numerous awards, but I have not done this for awards. I've done this because God called me to do it.
Yeah.
Be radio free for 40 plus years at 91.9, 100,000 watt FM radio station. I'm one of those original guys that did radio because God ordained the music, not to look at charts, not to look at all this other kind of stuff, not to be popular. We got to be as Jeremiah. Jeremiah wasn't popular. Paul wasn't popular.
Right.
So we got to go out and reach souls, and just to hear these guys talk. And the good thing about it, when the son did the song, he wasn't even trying to work at the radio. I listened to this song, and I told my son, I said, "What are y'all gonna do? Are y'all gonna just let it sit in the can?" and I listened to this song one day over and over again. And if you know me, I'm very hard with music. I don't care who you are. If the music is not right, I don't care who you are. My own father, I didn't even push his music because it wasn't up to par with the standards. So my own dad got mad at me because I didn't market his music to radio.
Right.
And he would tell my wife, "Your husband won't work my music." But it doesn't matter who you are.
Right.
Even in my family, if the music isn't right and I didn't feel that passion to do it, we couldn't even do that then. But something about this song here, as I listened to the song, saying those spoken word lyrics. Those lyrics. And then my own son came in with those killer, blazing Marvin Gaye vocals, like you back in the 80s somewhere.
Yes.
So you listen to that, and I made a post the other day, and I said I know every radio because I got a lot of friends, a lot of friends in the industry where I told some artists one time, I said, "Y'all basically paying for my name and you're paying for my logo."
Right.
Most time, if I send music out, the radio gonna jump on it. They don't even have to listen to it first. They're gonna play it. But I have one particular artist by the name of Pastor Charles Moore, who is a gospel jazz artist. And I told him 8 years ago, I said, "You're not really gonna do too well in the gospel genre." So I said, "You're gonna go international."
Yeah.
8 years later, he's in the top jazz charts, been holding top jazz. We're about ready to do a movie about his life story. Somebody will be playing me in the movie and all this stuff. And now I'm feeling the same thing about this particular song. I told him the other day, I said, "Bro, this song that I'm just releasing, working now with the son and my son, it's crazy." And I'm telling people, and when I send it to radio, I heard one guy say, "Well, let me listen to it." I said, "Well, I'm not sending it for you to just listen to it.
Right.
If you can't play it, it's fine." I said, "Because I'm not focusing just on media base."
There we go.
Here's where artists got it mixed up and twisted. Radio's gonna be here. Radio's gonna be here forever. But with these new artists now, they are so concerned about a media-based chart system where they're gonna fall. It's gonna be a great falling because you're trying to chart on media base. I'm in North Carolina.
Right.
I don't listen to radio in Aberdeen. I can't listen to. I love 103.9 the light. But I can't get 103.9 light in Aberdeen. I'm in the country town.
Right.
So I'm not focusing on those media-based radio stations. I tell my daughter, Ruth Lantra's on here now, if you ever asked her what she charted in the past, she have got to number 5. I mean, she have got way up in the chart. But if you would ask her, she couldn't even tell you because she don't focus on the charts.
Right.
If I focus on charts in Aberdeen, that'll be a shame because I don't get no station that's a media-based station in the area. So I tell my artists, you become a people's artist. I don't care if you're a blog talk radio station.
Right.
I don't care if you're an internet radio station. I'm targeting everybody that can reach somebody. With that being said, you become a people's artist, not a charting artist trying to do a beautiful flyer and you posting and saying, "I'm number this on the charts," and nobody knows who you are.
Right.
I got news for the gospel community. There's really no stars in the gospel community.
Come on now.
There's no stars. I have not seen a gospel artist yet, like a Beyonce, and I might be saying that name wrong, that can go into Walmart and the world just stops.
Right.
If Kurt Franklin go in Walmart today, people gonna keep on shopping. God, everybody don't know who he is.
Right.
If a Taylor Swift go into Walmart, they're gonna have the whole police department,
Right.
armed forces stopping traffic, because those are genuinely stars. Gospel artists, there is no stars. So I tell everybody, forget about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
God has given these guys a song that's gonna reach the masses.
The masses.
Reach. I've already got them in Freeport, Bahamas. I got them. We got some stuff going on in London. We got some stuff going on. There's so much that I got for these guys here, and I tell them, hope they're ready to work. I think my son knows my work ethic. My son knows my work ethic. The song he's gonna learn my work ethic. And I always tell them, ain't no such thing as 9 to 5. If I call you at 3 o'clock in the morning, I need you to answer that phone. It's just, this mind never stops running when it comes down to what we got to do. I did this 40 plus years in industry. We do an expo every year, and I got brother Bob Maverick out of Chicago. He's doing a review on it now that will go public pretty soon.
Wow.
And I said, I just need y'all to listen to it. I said, I've never sent out music that's not worthy. I said, if I send it out, you better know I'm coming with some smoke behind it.
That's right.
So I could have listened to them talk. They was, I could always come back.
They was amazing.
Yeah.
And you know what? We are ready. We've been talking about the song. We've been talking about glory. Deshaun, you want to introduce it? You want to introduce it one more time, and then we're gonna play the song.
You muted.
Yes, this song is Glory, featuring Arvitra D. Jones off of the album Storyteller Volume 2. A beautiful, beautiful testimony of faith and courage and resilience and the inspiration that we gain from those who come before us. So I hope you all enjoy it.
Yes, let's do it, Mark.
Some days I don't know why God loves me. I do know that I can't let go of the idea that he do. I ain't pious. Some days I've been downright devilish. Spent twice as much time trying to good my way clean. It's like a daily baptismal in work ethic. A wade in the river purpose looking for redemption instead of reverence. Some days I don't know why God meant so much to my grandmothers. I do know that both called him the reason. I know they never called him the answer, just the one we had to repent to if we ever got the answer wrong. I only know redemption because they lived long enough to model it. They both gone now, and I ain't quite sure if they got it right, so I don't know if I will either. Haven't had that moment where they reached down to let me know they sitting in the midst of God. I just choose to think so. Choose to believe that it's their words in his ear that keep me from succumbing to my self-destructive tendencies. Choose to trust that they'll know when they need to remind me that my God has use for me still. I believe because anything else feels like blasphemy. I'm just a sinner searching, trying to become the saint I saw in my grandmother's eyes. I mean, I don't quote scriptures or anything. I can't really remember any word for word. I can't quote sermons. I read the Bible through most of them. Fire and brimstone wasn't classroom enough, but somehow things biblical find their way into my poems. Somehow performances turn pulpit preaching. More exposition than setup or transition. More Pentecost than pent-up aggression. More altar call than charismatic leadership. These testimonies feel like glory from up on high. I want my grandmothers to know I found my dirt church. See, some days I don't know why God loves me, but I refuse to let go of the belief that he do. Know that I got angels that raised me New Testament, taught me the value of a hard day's work, showed me the strength of conviction, was giving black women wisdoms, who told the world that their grandbaby was nothing less than blessed. Told me to make sure I never let anyone think that what they see is anything less than assurance. Told God to make sure I was nothing less than covered. So here I am to tell all of you that every day still here is nothing less than a testimony. Now let the church say, amen. Amen.
Yeah, amen. Amen.
Yes. Oh,
Crazy.
I can't quote no scriptures.
Hey, we just got added to Sirius Culture Radio, Sirius Radio 140, Holy Underground Gospel Hip Hop Show.
Did it really?
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, one more time, shout out to the Genius Party, man. Emperor, he created that beat, man. Shout out to you, brother. Love you, man.
Yes. Oh my God. It's just so much I want to say about it. You guys out there listening, let me know what you think about it. Go ahead and put it in the chat. Listen, we're going to be supporting our brothers on this anniversary, whatever you need from us. Let's do it, because this needs to reach, like you said, the massive international. The words itself. You got the baby Marvin Gaye over here with his vocals. You got the, just the words are so deep. That sound really, it's deep. The way you guys put it together is amazing.
I
know you're gonna work this. Tell. Come on, talk to me, brother. Talk to me.
Listen, I was getting excited when this song was talking a while ago, because I've been so used to hearing this voice in this song. When he was just regular talking a while ago, I was hearing this song. he was just regular having the conversation. I'm like, okay, that's my guy. That's my artist. But we have some heavy plans. We're going to Atlanta Live pretty soon. We're going to my great friend Uncle G, Greg. We're going to do his show in Vegas during the Stellar War Week, wherever they have it at. We're going to do that too as well. So we got a whole, and both of these guys' schedule is so intense. So I have to kind of work around their schedule.
Yeah.
So I have to make sure their schedule. I'm dealing with two individuals that's got busy schedules. so I got to kind of work
with your busy schedule too.
Right. So we're gonna my goal is to market, brand them, let the world see them, introduce them to the world. I mean, the whole world, not just the gospel side.
Right.
But I want to introduce them to the world. Right. Because of the lyrics that they got, we want to. There's no ends. I got Tracy Morgan from Tracy Morgan Radio Show.
Yeah.
Mike Chandler, Rejoice Mr. Soul Food. I talked to him the day before yesterday. The song is a review there now. And once we hit that market, we got Tony G down in Columbia, South Carolina, and we got endless contacts across the country. So we're finna to work this thing. And I'm not even gonna take a break in December. I know everybody playing Christmas music, but we're gonna. To me, this is a Christmas music because this is to me this is a Christmas song because it's talking about life and resurrection. So it's talking about the glory of God. So this is a Christmas song to me as well because it's talking life. The birth of Jesus Christ. So to me, there's no ends in sight for this particular singer, and we're just gonna follow God's lead, and wherever God takes us and allows us to go with this, that's where we're going.
I love it. So let me ask you this, Alberto. So what genre would you consider it? Would you say it's gospel? Would you say it's R&B? Would you say it's hip hop? How would you, what field, or is it a category by itself?
It's a category by itself. And see, and the good reason why I'm so excited about working this song, because I never worked a song like this before. I never worked a spoken word song with mad vocals and the beat and the track.
Right.
So to me, it's like a new breath of life because it creates a challenge in me. I'm used to working music, but not like this. And I've been telling everybody I talk to, this is a beautiful challenge for me because it's a spoken word challenge.
Yes.
Along with vocals, to me, I have never seen it done before. Now that I see it done before, and just to listen when we finish this single, he got some more in there. We want to explore the whole album to get to a point, because not just let it be a short-term like we want this to be a lifeline album that's gonna be residual for time to come, and we want this to perform to small crowds, large crowds, whoever God allows to take it. That's what we want to take it. So I can't even categorize it. It's just it's just God. It's just God sent. It's God sent a message for the world right now that we got to let folk know. Because the grandma told us. My son talking about my mom, Evangelist Lady Jones. She don't ever change. I don't care. She's a cancer survivor. She did chemo today and called me like she ain't did no chemo. I'm like, and through all what she's been through, she have not had no pain. She don't hurt. I'm like, if this ain't deep oil,
okay, deep oil.
That's that deep oil that's showing up, and she is not playing when it comes down to what we're doing. So this is God sent. It's gonna cause a lot of people to be changed and saved by just listening to this track.
Yes, and we was just talking about how many people it can reach from young to there's no age limit. It's so broad. That's what I love about it. We even have some spoken word artists on here tonight that's listening. They're commenting. Not your ordinary. You hear that, girl? So I love that it's reaching people that you wouldn't think it would reach. Not only church folks, but we talking about nationwide, international. So I am excited, guys. I know, Dominique, I know you know the work ethic. I know, Desan, you may not know, but get ready to travel. Get ready because Alberta is a hard working man. And when he's serious about 3:00 in the morning, answer your phone because he got a gig for you.
Like I said, I'm ready for it. Like, even if shout out to my father. At this point, he knows where my mind is. Like, I can drop anything. It don't matter. It don't matter what it is. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing to it. When he called me at 3 a.m., I'm like, all right, let's go.
And here's the good thing about my son, and I never push my kids to work. I wait to come to me.
Yeah.
When Ruth Auntie was a little baby, everybody was saying, "Why don't you work your child? Why don't you work your daughter?" And I said, I would not work her till she come to me and ask for help.
Right.
One day I was working at my desk, so she came downstairs. I think she was about 15, and then she's okay, Dad, I'm ready to go to work now. And my son, he came and he said, Dad, I need you to manage me. Just recently, I wasn't gonna push him because as he said, I was working that group Excel when they was young, just taking them everywhere. Even though they did an awesome job, they was not really ready they was not ready here to go to that level because I never got a chance to ask them. I assumed they wanted to work. So I made up my mind for the rest of my life, be faithful unto death. But when people want to work, they're gonna have to come and tell me I don't care how good you are. I don't care how mad how good you can sing, you can rap. You're gonna have to come and express, okay, this is what I want to do. Right. I can't assume because what my work ethic is on a whole different level. Mm-hmm. So I can't be pushing you if you don't want to be pushed.
That's right.
So
that's right.
Now, even when I heard this single, I suggested to Dom, I said, talk to Desan. What do you want to do? Now, if he would have came back to me and said, Mr. Jones, or whatever you want to call me, I'm just going to put this out there, or whatever. Then I would say, okay, that's fine. Beautiful song. Then I would say next, I would have moved on.
Right.
But, we had a conversation. I said, you can take this as far as you can take it. I said, but the heart got to be right. The mind got to be right.
Got to be right.
You got to know God is leading you. God is He's fueling you. Because when the Bible says be faithful unto death, that's what he means.
That's what
he don't say be faithful until I get tired of your energy. I'm faithful until I get that. But be faithful unto death is what it is. That means I'm gonna be in my dying bed still doing what God wants me to do. That's so good.
Yes. I love it. I love it. And guys, listen, let me tell you this. You are in good hands. Okay, he's a man of God, a man of his word. He's not going to let anybody take advantage of you, get over on you, think less. He's not going to do it. He posted something the other day. I like to fell out my chair because it's something that I want to say, but I was too scared to say it.
Yeah.
We talking about, people paying the artists. They want to become friends with you.
Yeah.
And I probably can't quote it like he said it, but they want to become friends with you, so they don't want to pay you. But a stranger, they'll say,
send that money right away. Send that cash out right away. So it's okay. It's okay to be friends. It's okay to be friends. But we got to know the difference between friendship and business.
Yeah.
I've lost a lot of friends that way because I treat you nice and friendly, then when I come on the business side, then it's a whole different story. And they do artists that way. They want your friend because they want you to come for free. But sometimes free is good. Promotion is good, but we got to know how to separate what's promotion and what's using people. So, and I do this not only with them, but I do this for me because for years I did free consulting. I did this. Till my attorney told me, you need to stop doing that.
Right.
So now when they call me up and say, let me pick your brains, I'm like, this ain't no strawberry patch. and my son got on Clubhouse a couple of years ago and said, y'all been using my dad a lot.
I did do that. Wow.
Yeah, you did that.
I mean, because I got fed up, like, you right. It's not, again, we have to open our minds, right, to the business of music.
Yeah.
Right.
It is a legit business. Like,
it's business. That's your livelihood.
It could be a hobby. Now, don't get it twisted. It could be a hobby.
It could be a hobby, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because either way it go, you're gonna reach people. Now, if it's a hobby, it's a hobby. But if it's a business, just like any other transaction, you go to Walmart, you buy Snickers, it's money. And the thing is, as we even thinking about it in a broader sense, like everything that we have in our houses, everything that's in the world that you see construction is a transaction. It's not for free. There's nothing in this world. You hear this all the time. Nothing in this world is free. It's not an arrogant response. It's just the truth, man. Even the internet service that we have right now is not free.
Right.
So I did go on Clubhouse and I expressed that because I sat there throughout these years and I saw how much my dad gave and how many artists were excited. Even going with him to the radio stations, boxes of CDs.
Yeah.
From artists that wanted him to play their music, and then when he played their music, he expecting them to come back and give something in return, and they ain't giving them that.
Right,
Yeah. Majors today. Majors. I got some majors right now, and I won't call them names, but I broke a lot of artists.
Yeah,
and if I had to do it over again, I still would do it because that's what God ordained me to do. But now we got to train and teach people. We don't want the news coming up thinking that way now. We want y'all to really understand respect, valuable relationships is so important at this point in time of life. And if we're gonna excel, we got to really, really love the Lord with all our heart. But at the same time, when it comes down to business stuff, let's handle that appropriately and don't do it because you're my guy, you're my friend, or whatever. Because what gets me, you can call. You want to take care of my artists for free, and then you want to bring somebody across the United States and pay them top dollar because you think they are top artists when they both are national artists.
Right.
That's the problem I have with some people. But we correct that. Like I say, God gave Apostle Paul. He said, "I'm gonna give you the boldness to go out and tell people what they're doing wrong." So you would have to have that boldness and say it with love, not being mean.
Right.
But say it with love. They called me, I got to go to Atlanta in January to teach a class. And they called me up the other night. And I'm doing it because we have to really let people understand how the industry has changed.
Yeah.
The gospel industry is not the same.
Yeah.
It's not like it was when I was at 91.9. We got the streaming stuff going on now. Yeah. We got the radio stuff going on. We got social media going on now.
Yeah.
And people are not telling people the truth.
Right.
So we got marketing reps want you to worry about charting, and nobody don't know you on a big broad, and they're forgetting about the college radio. That's why I come from college radio, but we was 100,000 watts.
Yeah.
I had more power than the regular stations.
Right.
So we got marketing reps want you to, do all this and say, let's tackle the media-based stations, but then nobody know you. Your song are getting played because you're paying all this money to be number 91 or 81 on the charts. That's doing no good. And then when your money run out, your spins run out.
Right.
So we don't want to base our spins on just the money alone. So we want to be able to call everybody and bring everybody in that's college, internet, I don't care, AM, whoever you are. We want to make this a broad, become a people's artist.
You got to. You can't.
There we go.
You got independent artist is cool, but you're gonna have to be a people's artist.
People's artist.
You're gonna have to be a people person to get somebody to represent you.
Yeah.
You can be as independent as you can, but you got billions of people that think they
so much music out here.
So much billions of people that got music and they trying to get their music on college radio. They're trying to get it, but they don't have the they don't have like the experience. They don't have enough. They don't have as many reps to go out there and
that relationship is so important. I mean,
you to be able to do a few things, but you're not gonna be able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I call Coco up. I say she changed her word. She said, "What you want?" She's like, "It's like this is her show." So she asked me, "What do I want to do?"
Right. I mean, because it's relationship, and I know him. I know what he can do. So when he speaks, I listen.
And I don't take that for granted. You just don't know how much that mean to me. Because when I called you the other night, I was on my big charter bus that I run company. I'm making deals while I'm driving my bus. I say, Coco, I need this. I need the guys on the show. Yeah. She changed the word. They got together to fly like overnight.
Let's do it.
I got this, and not only Coco, but I called some more of my people that's going to be doing interviews. I called Atlanta Live. He hit me back 4:00 in the morning and said, "What date you want to come?" Yeah. So now I got to get with the son and Dom and find out. I'm gonna get them like 3 or 4 different dates because I had to work around their schedule because I'm like self-employed. I can just go anytime I want. So I can get with their dates and say, what time y'all want to go? So and while they're in Atlanta, I want to work them at the Sea Lounge. I want to try to do interviews with Darlene McCoy. So I want to try to work them in Atlanta more than just going to Atlanta Live. I want to kind of work them around the city. So when they come back, Glory is going to be to reach more people than they reached before they got there.
Yes. Look at this son. He's like, when I'm asleep.
Because let me just say this. The Lord is blessing me with a few grants for the Art Council from Black Chamber of Commerce because they all know, even my employers right now, knows that at a certain point in my life, very shortly, I'm going to be too busy to be doing stuff
That's
that
right.
want me to do, that my employer wants me to do. After this grant money come in and I get to actually pay the ALJ agency like I want to,
yes.
It's gonna make time for me to actually do it anything I want to because I won't be bound. I won't be bound to like this.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Crazy. Imagine getting them guys on tour.
It's coming.
The tour with Rufus Antra tour, and you got her music alone, spoken word.
Crazy.
It's over. Get your lap covers.
And we bring Coco in there because Coco McMillan was one of the baddest BGBs with Gerald Levert.
Listen, I'm excited to be a part of it because I know where it's going. You understand? I know where it's going. So I'm just excited that I was the first interview. And that I can see this journey. Yes, this journey. This has been amazing. People are excited. You can see the comments and everything. So please tell us where they can get the music.
Yes, the album is available. It is available on all streaming platforms. Storyteller Volume 2. So please, you can go get it wherever you go to find your music. It is there. And tell a friend to tell a friend. and let them know they really need this, and this is going to be a blessing.
Listen, hey, okay, I said this earlier. I'm sorry, but don't he look like Brian Courtney Wilson?
Yeah, he got those. Look like they could be brothers.
It's just, he's so humble. You can tell he's so humble, and he just, that's gonna take you a long ways, my brother. I'm telling you, that humbleness in this music industry, because I know a lot of artists that you can't even speak to them. They're looking at you like, what? Come on now. We all doing this thing together. So just stay the way you are. Any final words, you guys? You have been amazing. Any final words that you would like to say to the audience tonight?
Well, I'll go first, Hassan, if you want to close it out. If you have Instagram pages, please follow our pages, right? Please tag somebody, share this video with somebody. If you share Instagram stories, you can look up this song, put it on your Instagram stories.
Yeah.
Different places that you can go, share the song with people. I would say, finally, thank God again for the opportunity. And, I'm just ready, man, ready to do whatever it is the Lord is calling us to do. And I'm excited to do it with the Son, because that is a person that has a very incredible gift and will continue to improve and will continue to inspire those that he connects with. So I'm excited to be there with him. And again, shout out to the agency, shout out to you, Coco, and different ones that are listening right now.
Awesome. Desire?
Yes, no, I echo all of that. Thank you, Coco, for this opportunity. It's a blessing. I think I want to, follow. You gotta follow the calling when it happens. You can't let doubt and worry and get in the way, because that's it takes a lot to get through that. But this process of putting this project together was truly led. Like, I was led. I had a sense in my mind of what I wanted to do, but the way this came together and the way everything worked, it's just been but God,
But God.
And so for me, as long as I've been, at this, to have this, to be in this place, to have an opportunity, and just imagine the new folks who are going to get a chance to experience this. For me to be able to have an opportunity to do this with Arvicha D. Jones, like as someone, as a young artist that I saw and I heard and I said, and saw like the gift there, and then the connection of saying, like to just talk and recognize the connections that we had without even really knowing, but just to know that this is opportunity. And then, of course, for Mr. Arvicha Jones Jr. to step in to provide this opportunity to help push this, which for a lot of independent artists, you don't always have. You grind, you do this work yourself, and you kind of figure out how to maneuver. But to have an opportunity to have someone believe in what the work is always a blessing. So to everyone out there, just know, especially any of the artists out there, just know, keep following your heart. Let it be spirit led, let it be heart led, and it's going to do what it needs to do. And you just got to continue to hold that faith and believe in the gift you've been given.
Storyteller Volume 2, y'all.
Yeah.
Storyteller Volume 2. Alberto, any final words? Any final words here?
Yeah, again, I want to thank you, my sister Coco, for giving us this opportunity the very first time. I want to thank my man, Hassan, for just letting God use him to put this pen down, just write it down and bring it out. Thank God for my son who collabed with him to make this to be what it is now. I got great faith in this project. I want to thank all my radio. I want to thank Tamika Hall, who, whenever I got Tamika's out of Delaware, out of Philadelphia, she created the graphics for me. She came in and did stuff over, and she's my partner on the graphic side. I want all radio early believers that's already jumped on this piece.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's different, and we're going to show the enemy that different works. Because the healing people, we're going to show him it works because it's touching souls and saving people. And just to listen to the words, the tracks. The young man who produced the tracks, I haven't met him yet, but he did an awesome job. Whoever produced that track, I mean, that's so catchy.
Yeah.
Again, I'm reading the comments. Everybody's got some awesome comments. A lot of people have tuned in tonight. This has really made my day. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's next, and we're gonna keep in the loop and be on the lookout for the Son and Avetra D. It's happening.
It's happening. Glory. I can say that with authority. Glory. I felt that in my shana now. But guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on the show, just sharing this information with us. And as I said, you know, I know it's going to be big. I can't wait to see what God is getting ready to do. So thank you. Keep us posted and everything. Thank you again so much for coming to bless the show tonight. It'll never be the same. God bless you.
Love you.
Love you, man.
Love you guys.
It's time we'll catch up, brother.
Bye, guys.
Love y'all.
Please give Evangelist Lillian Jones my love, your wife, your family, your entire family. Tell them, give them my love, please.
Yeah, we had him on here tonight. Miriam was on here. Clay was on here. I saw Cynthia Jones on here. So many people I know, so many people I didn't know. Y'all really made this interview a great success tonight. Thank y'all.
Yes. Thank God. Thank you. So we just wanted to thank you all guys for watching. Everyone that came on tonight, thank you so much for watching the show. We're going to be back same time next week. I always say to you, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to thy own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. We're going to leave you tonight with some more music that they didn't know what we was going to do from Desan and from Avetra. Yes, Mark.
Now, I was just going to say, you do know next Thursday is Thanksgiving, so that will actually be a rerun.
Yep,
so
that's right. That's Thanksgiving. That's right. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys.
And the other thing I was going to say, just really quickly, because you brought it up, Desan knows me, and I'm just going to bring it up because he's brought it up several times. But I don't know Mr. Jones that well or his son, but we've got to get this whole Motown thing going because Durham has way too much talent not to have its own Motown and all along those lines. I know you've had some other artists on the network that have brought this notion up, so we've got to figure out a way to create Memphis, Atlanta, Motown.
Let's do it.
Desan says we have way too much talent. He actually said that during the interview, so I think it's time for a Motown in the Triangle.
Let's get it. Let's get it done.
Too.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark.
Yes.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate you.
All right, so good night, everyone. Check out this music from Design and also Avetra Dominique Jones. Good night, guys. We love you.
Good night.
As a light in the darkness that alters our behavior. He's like.
You remember that?
Oh my God. That's better. That's better, y'all. That's better for my first track, for our first album.
I've been loyal to my gift. Let my passion shape my destiny. Stayed and made my mind. Let my city see the best of me. Buried in this sun, while the devil said he tested me. But I'm a pin to the end, till my Savior takes my breath from me.
They say show them the light, but then argue it in the dark. They say deliver the truth, but prefer to tear it apart. Words hung in the woods like sheep speaking the shoulds. His clan's claiming a gift so he can receive the goods. I was told with great power comes great responsibility. If life is like this art, then this is divine mimicry. So every lass that spaz is met with God's favor, and every gem I leave settles 3 days later. I'm influenced by the image, won over by what's projected. You never see the bias, but call it natural selection. My pen scripts a testament, people knew it was cold, because they know an art that's old, they tired of being told. So I offer something new from this highly favored son. A blessing of wordplay that won't be undone. By the devilish way we advocate for a perspective most people can't find their way back from.
I've been loyal to my kids. Let my passion shape my destiny. Stayed and made my mind. Let my city see the best of me. Buried in this heart, while the devil steady testing me. But I'm a pin to the end, till my Savior takes my breath from me.
If you're moving with a purpose with the people on your mind, then the framework of your movement is the people drive the grind. If it's one, then it's all of us, we repping for our people. So the power stays the same, I call that separate but equal. You can cast us in a bad light, portray us with no hope. Ain't no shadow over shoulder, look again, that's our folks. The reverie of brilliance and resilience in the rear of them. That royalty and godliness be bringing out the fear in them. They can't stand the way we think, can't stand the way we talk. It's so gutter and so masterful, we blend in our talk. They can't stand the way we smile, they hate it when we laugh. The way we ride for who we went, violate, we whoop that. They want us all divided, want the doubt and shame to guide us. But together we remind us by the legacy inside us. From the classroom to the park, from the corner to the church. If the community is first, what they try will never work.
I don't know how to stop. My passion's waiting for me to reach the top.